talk about a few scenes because the story, as you see, is nothing in it, right? But the powerful part is scenes, right? So let's go through various scenes.
Can I say something about the Ray's the way he, before we start with the scenes? What I was very impressed with the whole film. I saw the film in the night, and what I was thinking about is his framing. Everywhere you see, it's only the family and the grandmother. Even though there is interaction with outsiders, like their aunt, they sold the property to the aunt, and she will be shouting at them, but you will never see prominence to them. Everybody is in the scene, even though she's talking from the her rooftop, but in that frame, her mother will be there, like Durga will also be there. But importance is always given to this the family, how its interaction. In its love, it's in death or in nature, in all their facets, and they're coming to see electricity. They're coming to see a train. I mean, and then the poverty.
Let's actually
all that. All that is only with these characters. They don't show anything in the village. Nothing happening in the villages. No brawls. No sidetracking of the issues. It is completely based on this family. That is his,
very well said.
That's what I wanted to say.
Very good. Actually, we'll come back and talk about that in the techniques. So let's look at the various scenes. That way, it will bring out the heart of the movie.
People will remember. And
by the way, this is rather than Hari has corrected me last time when I said analysis of the movies. No, it is actually not analysis. We're actually trying to appreciate the movie.
Exactly.
It's an appreciation of PatherPanchali.
We're very small, insignificant to analyze a great films, right? Any great. What we can do is appreciate it.
Appreciate, right? And the first scene that comes, I mean, I'll go in sequentially. The first one was Inder. Inder is the aunt, the old aunt, who lives along with the family. They never explain what is the relation between Inder and this family, right? It's another interesting point. So that love-hate relationship, if you will, between Inder and Sarvoj Vijaya, Sarvojaya. They're like,
mousy. Call mother.
Mother-in-law and daughter-in-law sort of relationship. The love-hate. Do you have any?
Yeah, that is a wonderful relationship. Not only that, see, that aunt, the old aunt, and then mother, and then the relationship with Durga. So this is a very beautiful triangle, and triangle in the sense like it's actually amazing the way they interact. A mother, as I said, a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, like they quarrel. She wants to go away. She's coming back, and it's very usual way.
Right.
And then in one scene, when she's going, the girl, the Durga, is very young, and she goes and she wants to bring her back.
The grandma come back, sir.
You so touched, and she said, "Go away, go away." No, I don't want to come. And then grumpiness, and she wants to come. She wants mother to call her.
Like, who is the child there? You don't know whether it's Inder or the Durga.
And then second time, when Apu won, how happily she comes back along with him.
She needs an excuse to come back.
And she wants to come back into the life again. And another thing is at the end, when the relationship, she comes back because the love she had for that ancestral house. For some reason, I think she brought up. That's what we need to take. That's why she came at the end last scene. She wants to have a good look. She wants to take the water from her daughter-in-law. And the final time, can you give me water? I'm really tired. And then tired. And then that song, such an appropriate song, Ravindra.
Nice.
And then
folk song.
I wanted to cross this river and all, and goes and dies. And then again, that's a change, right? That the relationship is always, we all know, the elderly people are like bridges. They're the wealth of knowledge. They give, they will get those wrinkles, the beautiful wrinkles, not just for something else. It's all the experience of stored in those wisdom. So that is a beautiful relationship picturized, very touching, and she always there. It's like floating through the scenes. If you see that.
So Ravinder, is Inder related at all in that?
No, it's more than that. She's a bonding. Durga. That is one scene I liked very much. Durga gets the water in, and from there, as she's walking, her mother goes out, and then the grandmother, you can call grandmother, and she's dusting her old rugs. See, all are in frame, one frame. 3 generations are in one frame. So the framing itself makes you, they're all bonded.
Right.
The framing, if 3 generations, they're all in bonded, and that is the relationship which.
So actually, we can talk the whole hour about this particular relation, I think, right? Let's go to the next scene, which I was talking about. Was we already talked about the grandmother death, what happens, and it's related to the train incident. I mean, one of the iconic, whenever you say PatherPanchali in Google, and then the one picture that comes back is the train scene. What's the big deal about the train scene, Ravindra?
The train scene is one is the modern prosperity. One is the looking.
So what happens in the train scene?
Appu's they're discovering new things. Appu and Durga. Durga for the first time sees electricity poles, and there's a buzzing noise. It's like an alien noise. For them, it's an alien noise. First time you see a buzzing noise, she couldn't make out. She's looking at what is happening. So it's like an alien thing. And then in the background, as they're looking at this, there is a sound coming in. The sound of a train, the tram, and then they look for that, and the idyllic, the way the grass, and then in between that is the train coming in. So the train here is a hope for them, hope from the poverty-ridden which they are right now living. They can become part of the modern India. They can progress. So these are the 2 things, which is one is discovering new things, and the other is it's a modernity.
Right. Actually, a continuation of that, after seeing the train incident, well, they're coming back. You'll see the death of their Inder. Actually, there's some interesting.
Actually, let me tell this.
You have
the seed of this train, the change is coming. Appu's world is going to change. Is actually planted. One beautiful montage shot. This is one of the iconic montage shot, as Ravindra said. Family ties and all. It's one of the shots. At the night, the activity, Satyajit Ray beautifully shown. The Indian old the aunt will be trying to swing.
What a scene, man! What a scene!
And then here, Hori is giving a dictation, doing his accounts, giving a dictation about wealth. Okay, giving an idea. Wealth is the important word in this world for you, man. So now, and then she is actually doing the mother combing hair of Durga, and Durga is showing her aspirations because she heard about the wedding of her friend, and she is now a little beauty conscious. So far, she knows her age now. She asks, Mom, can you tie it in 2 ways, two plates rather than one? And then it all in one icon. And then the sound comes.
The main point is, which I felt, is Appu. As a father tells him about right of wealthy, and then for a second he's on a trance. He's just looking at that, and the sound of his thing is sound of a train whistle. So he's dreaming about. So each one, all the characters, they're all having their positive thing. One is dreaming. Harrier.
That is the only
father wants to give him.
In other words, if you summarize all this, what it is there is an insinuation from the director saying like all these aspirations of all these people together will be realized by the modernity of the train or something like that.
There is a change.
Change is going to come.
No, it is not in our hands. There is a change, inevitable change is coming.
That is the
very
nature.
Fast. You don't know you're going to catch it or not. And then the other scene is the way they depicted, right? The way they shown why that has become a cinematic language also. Why it is so important. In that pampas grass, whatever the grass they call pampas grass, the white high level,
after the paddy fields,
and then he follows. Like there was a quarrel and all. There is a scene, and then always like a devoted chela, that shishya for her with her sister. She follows her sister. She is the hero. Heroine. She wants to show Durga, and then when we also know, even n number of times you see, first you don't discover the train. It will be actually they stood up front of the camera. The train is actually behind. It won't show. Every time we'll miss it. Like and then listening and then turning back, and then the Durga falls down because in that rush, and he runs, but they won't show anything. He will be outside the other frame, and then you see only the train passing away. He's the other side of it. Okay, and it's like it is not. Then he's certainly saying that Durga is not going to achieve all her hopes.
Yeah, he's already telling the story.
Because she's behind. Correct. She didn't come up to the train tracks. I see. So she's fallen behind. I see.
So eluding that cinematically. And then this guy is like, and then that wonder. Even now we also see that they picturized that the wonder in the eyes.
Actually, this is brings to me another very off the track question. Like in all the greatest Indian poetry and all, after the writer has written the poetry or whatever, and then the people who analyze it, they will like look at the poetry in such a way. I don't know if the real original poet has thought about all those things and written it like that, right? They say, oh, this color he wore because he's alluding to that or something like that, right? Is that the same case in the movies also? This is a real question I have. Did Satyajit Ray think about all these which you explained when he composed all that?
Yes, we need to say yes in one way, because some of them, even Andrew Robinson, he writes that. Some of them maybe consciously you were not thinking.
But
there is a chemistry.
The way you organized your shots. You would have thinking.
Just like in cricket, you don't think about how to play a hook shot.
Yes, right?
As soon as you see the ball,
you react.
That comes because of your so many culturalization in that art or in your field.
Experience in that.
So even without knowing, he's doing it.
He's doing it. Some of them. But in this case, I think he's very detail-oriented person.
Detailed.
And he.
I think we can talk forever about the train scene again.
Train scene is a favorite.
Train scene is like
everybody's favorite.
And then the other one, which the most poignant scene in there is during the monsoon. The monsoon comes and Durga drenches in it, and then she
beautifully.
Wow, for me, I didn't notice it, but you guys don't know. Yesterday, I saw the film in the night again. So the scene, the monsoon scene starts. The way it starts is a different thing. She doesn't get the letters from her husband, so Harihar doesn't send. She's worried, and then suddenly Appu gets a letter, and she chitty, and then she reads, "I got a job," and immediately dissolve. The next shot is the rain. Is the rain, and you'll see the droplets. You'll see dragonflies and all the ripples on the water. You'll see the lake, and then you can see all the leaves and everyone. The whole, and then it's a burst of rain. Monsoon comes in, so that is prosperity.
Right.
It is
when it pours it.
Hope your hope.
It pours in like that.
Yeah. So that signifies the monsoon coming. Thing is their prosperity and their hopes also.
I see.
Their hopes.
Rain is a symbolic shot for the hope. Even before that, there is one subtle point, like how detail oriented Mr. Satyajit Ray was. Durga performs a small puja kind of thing.
Yes.
Interesting,
right?
Oh, yeah.
That is called in Bengali, because I was in Bengal, and they do it before monsoon. Like it's a virgins and a young maid. They do that, inviting monsoon. Even though it is hard for, because the rain, we know, because if coastal areas and all this delta belt, they know rain brings hope as well as havoc also. Both. So they're asking, because we are suffering, you don't feel that I should not come. Please, you have to come. Because we'll bear it. Okay, your havoc also. So the virgins pray, but give us strength to bear you.
Bear the
both
your good and bad.
And then they pray that. And that's what it starts, right? The scene is going to tell, hey, there are some troubles are going to come. The letter is okay, one part of it, okay? Even not knowingly, Hori is going to know about something very bad. We are all going to have a shocked, heart-wrenching scene. And then there is a hope. It is coming.
Right.
There is a change.
Right.
It's not only hope. A new.
That's a part of the nature.
And also you can see in that scene. I mean, they show it a lot of times, but in this particular scene, the sister Durga and Apu, they sit together. They show the relation like hugging, and then they're explaining. And she will say, I mean, all the beautiful, right?
By seeing all this, is there anywhere in this? I don't know. People.
Yeah, that's another. We will save that question later. So what happened after that monsoon thing is she drenches and becomes sick. And the scene where they show in the dilapidated house, I know there's a huge downpour, and she's helpless there. So what about that scene? I mean, it's like.
Probably it says it's Durga's death is also forbearing. The death of the destruction of the house itself. The house is no more. They can live in that house anymore. So it is a both. It is not only Durga's death. It is also the death of the house itself. House no longer can.
Their aspirations to stay in the ancestral
house is gone. So that is both ways. Durga was a hope for them, and that hope was gone. And they don't want to. I mean, he says in the end, cannot live in this house.
So now what happens?
No, cinematographic wise also, that is an excellent scene. As if the death is knocking at the door. You see that the way it is trying to push it. She is covering her on one corner.
She goes and
it is trying to open a bigger door. They know there is inevitable. That is one depiction. Second thing, I always admired the way in this film, the editing part of it. See, if you see that, they won't show anything. Why the after scenes will become very powerful for us, how we remember them. Here, they don't show anything.
But they have sounds.
And then suddenly, it dies down, everything. Then, if you remember, the next scene is knocking the door at the neighbor's house. This Apu is calling
for help.
If it is really dramatized, people say you can show so many things. But when she walks and just mother and Durga on her lap, just sitting like a personification of sorrow,
just like any good poetry, he's leaving it to the imagination of the viewers.
That's why the other scene you are going to talk is going to be such a, you also wanted to feel that, but the director has not given you a way out still.
I mean,
and then she says, the neighbor says, hey, can you just go and get my husband? Say that it is very important. Nothing more than that.
Right, that's all.
So that's subtle.
It's not an ordinary. It's not an ordinary calamity.
It's a life. Ebbs and lows will be there. It's a reality. We got to take care of it.
So now Durga dies. And then Hari, who went to Calcutta to earn money, he wrote a letter that he already earned a lot of money, and he's come back with the packs and with all the toys and all. Hey, Durga, Apu, he'll be calling and coming, and then he comes, and then he'll ask his wife. His wife gives him water for ablutions and all, but she's not.
Did you notice that there is a subtle point? She is actually telling without telling, keeping. That is a tradition. They cannot walk without having a bath. Because some death happened
before the karma kanda,
and giving the wooden wooden padukas. So you cannot walk in. There is something you have to do. You have to go somewhere else. You can't walk into home.
I was thinking more of it's a tradition in Bengal.
No. It is purely
final rites
to make him
final
do the final rites.
So now he'll ask, hey, where is Durga? Where is Apu? Where is the? And then look what I got for Durga, and he removes the sari,
beautiful sari,
and gives. And then
the way he comes out, Durga is like a cry, the cry of a father or a cry of death itself.
The audience,
the death has gone out.
Outlet for it.
The outlet for. Mrinal Sen used this kind of a thing in one of his movies, where all the kids, the sons and daughters, they all tell the father, the son becomes an Excelite, and he just could not bear it. The father just goes away from the house. He just walks away as
which movie is this?
I forgot.
I think
Ajanta. So just the father goes away. That's all. So here the father is coming out with all his inner strength and just say,
amazing.
oh, amazing. That is,
it's like that. If I had to pick one scene somehow
yes, it is
there's something in
very,
this. I don't know what it
very,
is.
very.
I told you to why you're remembering, why you're liking that scene is the before actually happened, and there is no let out so far. Even mother and father, even you as a part of it, like there is no let out. Now this is a time to let out your emotion. So you are with you are with them. You're a part of family, and then you are grieving now fully. So that's what it makes stands out.
It's like now Durga died, so all these guys will come and say they decide to go. Leave the village and go.
village.
And then the villagers, the elders will come and say, "Hey, stay back here." He'll say, "There's nothing for us here. We didn't."
They quote all your grandfather.
Your grandfather. How can you leave and all that stuff?
Yeah, for me, what I it occurred to me only yesterday night was as they going, in a bullock cart to Benares. And then before that, Apu throws the bangle.
Right, that's a
on the garland, which Durga has stolen. He throws it in the small pond. It is one way saying that I'm done with Durga as well as also with the house. He wants to forget anything which is good or bad with this house. But as they're going, now it is a Benares. Benares for a Hindu Brahmin is always. It is like a rebirth. It's a new life you are going. So these three people, instead of have they gone through poverty, they gone to death. Now they're going to a new place, which is Benares, which is rebirth. So that it is like a new life there.
Giving a hope.
Hope for that.
That's where the story ends. Actually, right?
But actually, in the book, it is not there.
Right.
It is Satyajit Ray has put that.
But even in that scene, I mean, pardon my ignorance. I'm not a big.
We all.
I thought it was. He throughout the story, throughout this movie, they never tell whether she really has stolen the beads or not, right? But Apu will be searching. Not searching. He'll be like, removing.
He asks one time, "Hey, did you do it?"
But she just gives a mischievous smile, and then and then when they're leaving the house, he suddenly finds that at the top somewhere. Last scene, he sees. And now the way I looked at it, that's one way you looked at it, right? When I saw that, I thought he loves his sister so much. He doesn't want his sister to be in the bad way like that.
Correct.
That's true. That is
so he doesn't want that secret to come out. So he goes and throws it in there.
That's what I meant. This Durga should be done here,
right? And then he'll throw it there, and the water it'll go away, and then the water slows, comes and settles, and then the whole story is over.
Yeah, that is the right point. I think even I also felt throughout this film, there is one underlying motive.
Yeah,
it's like the honor, family's honor, because mango, guava, fruit, all those things. Shame. The shame is also when the Indir gets a new shawl in the last scene. That is one of the things.
Given by
Raju, you are also begging now. You are making family into shameless. So the honor, the shame,
the false honor,
and the needs. See, the mother also one time she picks up the fruit when nobody's seeing. So these are the underlining the things which are going. Even this for a young girl, the need besides honor, shame, and all.
Actually, I'll ask a related question. I'll ask later on the S part.
You tell.
We'll talk about that part.
So she did it, and then this guy now honor is honor. I don't want to anybody know about this. My family's honor is at stake right now, and it's a secret. Hey, sister, you would have told me. I would have kept secret. I'm as good as enough.
Like you.
Keeping like I asked you. Okay, later let's bury it. Nobody knows. You and me.
Yeah.